What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be a little bit different. If you've noticed before, I have usually edited out all of the ums and ahs and pauses and awkward sentences in my videos, but today I want to just speak directly to the camera. I'm not going to edit out or filter out any words or anything like that. I just want this to be kind of unfiltered and raw and just see how the audience responds to that. So today's video, I want to talk about some of the mistakes that I've made in my life, specifically since I've moved out to China. And so I'm going to cover a number of different topics and some mistakes that are related to both life and e-commerce as well as Amazon. So the first one I'd like to talk about is when I moved to Guangzhou. This was in the end of 2015. I just gotten here, so I was still very new to the city and everything about Asia. And within a couple months, I'd quickly drawn conclusions that I didn't like Guangzhou. I didn't like the city, and I didn't like the pollution, and the health aspect was really getting to me. So I had become very cynical and negative and was not looking at any of the positive things about being here. And about 6 months later, I had convinced myself that I needed to move. A couple weeks before that, I had gone to Taiwan, and I really enjoyed myself there. I liked the city of Taipei and the environment. I liked the food, so I was like, that's where I'm gonna go, that's where I need to live. And my two roommates that I was living with at the time had felt the same way. And so all three of us decided to move to Taipei. We completely packed up everything. We subleased our apartment, and we decided that we were just gonna get out of Guangzhou and move countries. So the reason this was a mistake is because when you move to a new place and you get situated, you become acclimated to how things work. You understand the local customs and the culture. You develop a little bit of a community, and you know where your best food spot is. You know how to get to places easily, and everything is efficient. But when you go to a new place, it takes time to adapt. It takes time to meet new people. It takes time to understand how to go and get around the city. It takes time to get an apartment. So we moved to Taipei, and we were living in a hostel as we were looking for an apartment to stay. And basically our whole plan just kind of imploded on us. We couldn't find any affordable apartments to fit 3 people that was in a convenient location. At the time I was doing my dropshipping business, and it was like all over the place. Like some months making money, some months making barely any money. My 2 friends who I was with, they couldn't find any work with teaching jobs. And so quickly we realized that it was probably a bad move. We felt like we were taking a couple steps back. And right before we left, things were going pretty good, and we had momentum. So the lesson that I learned from this is when something feels a little bit difficult or uncomfortable, don't always be so quick to make a decision. Sometimes it's important to see things through and see how things will turn out before making a final and a big decision like that. And one of my friends ended up going back to the States, and me and my other roommate actually moved back to Guangzhou, obviously. So it was kind of like a waste of 3 months, but at the same time, learned a lesson, and yeah, that's part of life. You make mistakes and you learn from them. The second mistake that I made was about a year ago from now. Last March, I had put up my dropshipping store to sell on flippa.com, and I got so excited about being able to sell this asset that I had created. I was just so excited to get out of it that I didn't stop and think what I was gonna do afterwards. And so I sold the business. I got a good chunk of money, but quickly realized that I had nothing to work on, and I had no income coming in. So I had some money to sit on, like I had some savings, but with no plan and no income coming in, I quickly got pretty depressed and worried, like, what am I gonna do now? I have this money, it's not a ton of money, it will last me a good amount of time, but I have nothing to work on and I'm not making any money. And so I quickly realized if I'm ever in a position where I have an opportunity to exit or change paths or whatever, I will always make sure that I have something set up on the side. So for example, my Amazon business right now, I do want to sell that in the future, but I will absolutely make sure that I have either another Amazon account that is generating income already or another business or another opportunity that is already generating income or guaranteed to generate income, so that when that income stream stops or when that exit occurs and I have a lump sum of cash, that there's something else that I plan to be working on and fulfilling my time. Because you don't want to just be doing nothing. Like a vacation for 2 or 3 weeks feels good, but then quickly can get pretty boring. So my third mistake is specifically related to Amazon, and I've talked a little bit about this in my blog and mentioned it on my videos, but there's a spectrum of taking action, like learning resources and then taking action. It's like on one end of the spectrum you have consuming content, learning information, and on the other end of the spectrum you just have like immediate action taking. And so I got back from California last summer and I knew that I wanted to get into Amazon, and I did like the bare minimum amount of information research before I got started. I did a little bit of research, I found a product that looked good, and I was like I'm jumping on it. I'm just gonna sell this thing. I'm just gonna get it into Amazon's warehouse as soon as possible. And so there are good and bad things about this. The good things are that you learn incredibly quickly. And some people get caught up in analysis paralysis, and that's equally as bad, you know, like trying to learn so much and getting stuck in the research process and never actually pulling the trigger. And in my situation, I jumped in so quick that I didn't take a step back and kind of look at the bigger picture and realize that this product that I was selling was slowly declining in terms of sales volume. And so by the time that my product got to Amazon's warehouse, a number of things happened. Like, first of all, the sales had started to decline because the season was coming to an end. The price was going down because all of the competitors were just undercutting each other. And I was stuck with about 500 units just sitting in Amazon warehouse. Not entirely stuck, but like I was selling like, you know, maybe 4 to 5 units a day, just very, very slow. And that was incredibly frustrating, especially for your first product. When you just you just start, that's a huge blow to your confidence. And for me, that definitely took some time to get over and realize that I had to get back on the horse and try again. But luckily for me, about mid-October, it picked up quite rapidly, and I sold out by the end of November, and then luckily had a new order coming in December and sold out again in December. So I ended up making money on the first product, which is really cool. But that first 4 months was super slow and just very uncomfortable, shitty first product to experience. So the lesson learned with that is to be patient. Don't always jump into things immediately because you want that immediate gratification, and do the necessary research in order to minimize your risk. And that's about all I'll say to that. If there are any other questions related to the Amazon side and any other mistakes that you guys can see other sellers make or you want to know about, you can ask me in the comments below. If you liked the video, please let me know. Give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, guys. That's all I got today. I hope you like this different format. And yeah, hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. See you later.